Hello, my beautiful friends, and welcome to day 7 of our 30 Days of Wisdom guided practice, where we are working with women who run with the wolves. I am really excited about today's practice because we're going to be calling back the parts of ourselves that have been lost. So we're going to begin a little bit differently today. We're going to start with our guided visualization. So be sure you're in a comfortable space and let's get started. So feet flat on the floor, and you can close your eyes for this if you want. I'm going to go ahead and close my eyes, and let's take 3 Ha breaths together. So are you ready? Inhaling and exhaling. Good. And inhaling and exhaling. And just let everything settle down and settle in on that exhale. And one more time, inhaling. And exhaling. And right now, put both of your hands right on your solar, which is right beneath the rib cage, right where your stomach is. Maybe one hand there and one hand beneath, right over the belly button, so that you're covering your whole midsection, right? This whole midsection with your hands. And let's take 2 more Ha breaths. So inhaling, feeling the gentle rise of the belly, and settling in. Good. Offering yourself some comfort and some compassion. Inhaling and exhaling. Good. And in your mind's eye, imagine that you're in the desert. And it's totally safe to be here, but that you're in the desert. And that it's dry as far as the eye can see, except maybe there are some desert flowers here and there. And imagine that you can feel the dryness of the desert air as it caresses your skin. And in this desert, you have your hands over your belly. And in your mind's eye, imagine that there's a hole there. Notice how big the hole is, and you're covering it. So it's okay. It's safe. But you notice the hole. And maybe the hole is in your chest or it's in your throat. Wherever it is, place your hands over where you feel that there is a hole. And in your mind's eye, while you're in the desert, you notice that there are the parts of yourself, the parts that you've left with parents and family, parts of yourself that have been left at school or with past lovers, parts of yourself that have been scattered and left throughout the decades. But nothing is lost. Everything is right there with you, right there in the desert. And in your mind's eye, you can gather up the pieces of self and making yourself whole and complete. Inhaling and exhaling, knowing that you can come back to this place, gathering up pieces of yourself, breathing life into it at any time. So taking a nice long deep inhale, sighing it out once again, wiggle your fingers and your toes and coming all the way back. And now I'm going to read from Woman Who Runs with the Wolves, and she's talking about La Loba. There is an old woman who lives in a place everyone knows in their souls, but few have ever seen. As in fairy tales of Eastern Europe, she seems to wait for lost or wandering people and seekers who come to her place. She is circumspect, often hairy and fat, and especially wishes to evade most company. She is both a crower and a cackler, generally having more animal sounds than human ones. She can live anywhere, in the outskirts, in the deserts. The sole work of La Loba is collecting of bones. She collects and preserves especially that which is in danger of being lost to the world. Her cave is filled with bones of all manner of desert creature, the deer, the rattlesnake, the crow, but her specialty is wolves. She creeps and crawls and sifts through the mountains and dry riverbeds looking for wolf bones. And when she has assembled an entire skeleton, when the last bone is in place and the beautiful white sculpture of the creature is laid out before her, she sits by the fire and thinks about what song she will sing. And when she is sure, she stands over the creature, raises her arms over it, and sings out. That is when the rib bones and the leg bones of the wolf begin to flesh out and the creature becomes furred. La Loba sings some more, and more of the creature comes into being. Its tail curls upward, shaggy and strong. And La Loba sings more, and the wolf creature begins to breathe. And La Loba sings so deeply that the floor of the desert shakes as she sings, and the wolf opens its eyes, leaps up, and runs down the canyon. Somewhere in its running, whether by speed of its running or by splashing its way into the river or by a ray of sunlight or moonlight hitting it right on in the side, the wolf is suddenly transformed into a laughing woman who runs free toward the horizon. So remember, if you wander the desert and it is near sundown, you are perhaps a little lost and certainly tired, that you are lucky, for La Loba may take a liking to you and show you something of the soul. So take a deep breath and sigh it out. Think about your time in the desert, the parts of yourself that need to be sung back into life. Yes? This is good stuff, right? This is soul work. This is the work of story. And so what story does is it helps to align the conscious and the unconscious mind. So if you ever have that feeling of, I want to go in one direction, but I'm getting up over here, it's because you haven't closed the gap between the conscious and the unconscious. You're not master of your intention. And so one of the ways of bringing the unconscious mind back into alignment is through story. And the unconscious mind, in my opinion, in my estimation, is the handmaiden of the soul. So the soul implants seeds into the unconscious mind, seeds of becoming, and the unconscious mind helps to inform the captain, which is you, the conscious mind, helps to put you in situations where these seeds are going to begin to blossom. Yes? And so this is why we tell story, because story helps us, and story and metaphor speaks to the unconscious mind and speaks to that part of us that is seeking wholeness. And it's very likely that me and you and everybody on the planet has pieces of ourselves that we've left here and there. And that it's very important for a feeling of wholeness to gather up those parts. And so that's what I'm offering to you today. Isn't this fun? I know, it's such good stuff. We flipped the script today, you guys. We flipped the script. We did the meditation in the beginning. So she says, metaphors in this story typify the entire process of bringing a woman into her full instinctual, wildish senses. So coming into contact with the wisdom woman within. Within us is the old one who collects bones. Within us, there are soul bones of this wild self. Within us is the potential to be fleshed out again as the creature we once were. Within us are the bones to change ourselves and our world. So take a deep breath into that. You have the instincts to be able to change yourself and your world to your liking. Yes? We've just been told that that's not possible, but it is. Within us is the breath and the truths of our longings, whether they are the song, the creation hymn we have been yearning to sing. Anyway, I'm super excited to share this with you. And I am inviting you to sit with the visualization that we did at the beginning. Listen to the story again, maybe even pick up the book and you can read along with me. All right, my friends. I know it's good stuff. It's a little bit like, huh? But sit with it. Let it work on the unconscious mind. Let the soul speak to you. And I will see you mañana for day 8 of our 30 days of wisdom. Thank you for joining me. Bye.